Because, you idiot. I'm your friend. Suddenly, Sasuke, Naruto, Gaara, almost everyone not at the Kage would go unconscious in the arena as a huge flock of crows flies over the stadium. Suddenly they appear, Itachi and Kisame sitting on top of the stadium head, looking down as the Kage are looking around, seeing the two rogue shinobi. What business do you have here? Get out! Itachi would analyze the situation, seeing his younger brother, the son of the Kazekage, and that kid. He had seen a huge burst of chakra after they had neutralized Orochimaru, and it was flowing out of the arena. But now it was gone. What was that, he'd be thinking? It felt like a tailed beast had been awakened already. Itachi would jump into the arena below, ignoring all of the Kage. Hiruzen being shocked as he sees Itachi has now found that Sasuke left the village. Hiruzen gulping. The entire reason that they'd been going after Sasuke is because of Itachi's plot. The promise that he had made of the third Kage that the Leaf Village would keep Sasuke safe. Itachi would turn his eyes away as he touches Sasuke's face. Both Sasuke, Gaara, and Naruto all being unconscious. Looking up to Hiruzen, he'd have his Mangekyo Sharingan awakened. Hiruzen feeling chills as Itachi sends that luckily his brother's alright. Itachi now, as he looks at Sasuke's burn marks, his face contorting with anger. Itachi would summon a huge crow, throwing the three onto it, as he then orders it to fly away. The crow ordered to disappear once they'd been dropped somewhere safe. Itachi would turn, saying that he won't be interfering with like this again. Sasuke's current path is acceptable, but I swear to you, third, if anyone gets in the way, I'll come back and destroy the whole village. Hiruzen would fall out of his chair, falling over, sweating, never having seen Itachi ever, in all of his years, ever been this angry. That Asura boy's lucky to be alive. If Sasuke didn't care about him, I would have left him for dead. Who knows? Maybe that would have been better for awakening his Mangekyo. I don't know. With the way that kid's as reckless as he is, he'll be dead before I even get to meet Sasuke again. The chunin exams would be called off, saying that they'll have to reschedule for another time, because of all the chaos and destruction that had happened. Now it was nighttime. Sasuke and Naruto would have woken up, with Gaara now being the last to wake up, wondering what happened. Shukaku hadn't been released for some reason, because they'd been put into a genjutsu sleep, not him naturally falling asleep. It was the first rest he's had in 6 years. Either way, he felt pretty good after that nap. Naruto, Sasuke, where are we? What's going on? We were at the chunin exams just a few moments ago. Naruto would be sitting around a fire with Sasuke, as he's looking at Sasuke, feeling guilty, seeing the burns. He had tried healing magic, but nothing had worked. Sasuke had told him it was alright though. He was just happy that Naruto had come back and hadn't gone and killed one of the Kage, as if they weren't already in the bingo book. Naruto would laugh, saying yeah, as he then pats Sasuke on the shoulder with his hand. As he does this, Sasuke would wince, but then, what? The burn marks would begin slowly moving across Sasuke's body, as they would start heading towards Naruto's hand, bursting into blue flames after they've been erased from his skin. Naruto would hold his hand up, being shocked as he sees this mark on his hand. What is this? The mark would go all the way up to his left eye, disappearing after it had absorbed the jutsu. The jutsu that Naruto had cast while in his spirit dive mode, being a type of flame jutsu that could basically never be healed. However, such a jutsu is not a problem for someone with a karma seal. And so the jutsu would be absorbed by Naruto. Gaara seeing this would be shocked. I'm healed, Sasuke would say, turning as he looks down at his own hands, his body. The scars basically all being gone, just leaving light scars behind. Naruto would hug Sasuke, telling him he's so sorry. I lost myself. I didn't mean to hurt you like that, Sasuke. Sorry. Oh, get off me, Sasuke would say. I was just helping a partner out. Naruto would let go tentatively, but he'd look down, now happy. Nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. He had learned an unspeakable truth, though. The truth that the Cloud Village had hired the Akatsuki to kill him and his entire clan. And now he had a new goal in mind. He wanted to kill Hidan and Kakuzu, and he also wanted to take out the Cloud Village. Those bastards, Naruto would say. They'd been plotting against us for years. I had no idea they even felt like that. We had always been on pretty neutral terms until then. There's no way it was because of... Could it have been because of the yellow flash? Sasuke would turn asking what he means, with Naruto looking up explaining that his mother had told him before she died that Minato was the name of his father, and that he was nicknamed during the Great Shinobi War, the third one, was the Yellow Flash. Sasuke wouldn't say anything, but he'd recognize this as the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. Huh, so that's why you're so freakishly strong, huh? Sasuke wouldn't say anything else, as he tells Naruto they should get their supplies and get going, saying that they have to still track down Lady Tsunade so he can master that special seal Jiraiya had talked about, saying that if he can master it, then he might be able to defeat Hidan in terms of regeneration. The two would turn to Gaara, asking, what does Gaara want to do? Naruto remembering his promise to Lady Chiho to take Gaara with them, if Gaara chose to do so. Gaara would think back on all of his past, as he thinks about his brother and sister, his father, how the whole Sand Village had treated him. Seeing how Naruto and Sasuke lived, the freedom that they had, he'd be jealous. I'll go. I want to go with you guys. There's a whole world out there to explore. Somewhere where tailed beasts like me, a Jinchuriki, won't be treated like this. If it's not burned to you, I'd like to come with you. Naruto would smile, saying, of course. The travelers now having a group of 3. A 3-man squad, to be precise. Alright then, it's all settled, Sasuke would say, cracking his knuckles, standing up, and as they start putting out the fire of sand. We should head over to the old people's house and go grab our stuff and get out of here before they get back. It'd be a real trouble if we had to try and run in with them again. Ugh. Sasuke would start walking, telling Naruto and Gaara to come behind, as Sasuke would have a pouty face, thinking that now it's not just going to be him and Naruto anymore. Whatever. Of course, this does make Sasuke a bit jealous, though, having enjoyed the time that he'd spent just with those two. He felt like it was the coming of a new era, an era he wasn't so sure he liked. Sasuke and Naruto and Gaara would make it back to the old Lady Chiho and Ebisu's house, with them arriving, sneaking in, grabbing their packs, and leaving. Gaara now having to get a new pack at some point, since they only had enough stuff for 2 people. Well, plus Tsuki. Oh yeah, I haven't summoned Tsuki back! Naruto would summon Tsuki quickly as a burst of flames, Tsuki looking around and then seeing Naruto, yowling at him as she runs forward, headbutting him in the knee, growling a bit. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't mean to do that, okay? I just lost my head a bit. Can you forgive me? Tsuki would lick his hand, as Naruto would pat her on the head, saying thanks. We're a 4-man squad, actually, Naruto would say, laughing out loud. Gaara would comment saying that if they have anyone else who has a pet with them, or inside of them, they might as well be taking a walking petting zoo around, which would make Naruto laugh some more, before covering his face and grabbing his mouth saying he probably shouldn't be too loud. They might come back and hear him. They'd sneak out, Sasuke closing the door on the place where he had finally gained some power, thanking his 2 teachers for the first time, as he walks out the door. In a locked closet inside the house, we would see Chiho and Ebisu being quiet, listening through the door, as they hear them leave. Well, there goes our young student. Chiho would nod, sighing, saying, I wonder if any of it was worth it. Well, at least Gaara's happy now. I'll be looking forward to see how they shake up this world. What's that supposed to mean, Ebisu said. They're just a bunch of kids wandering around. You really believe that? I have a feeling those 3 are gonna shake up the whole shinobi world at some point. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And so, Naruto, Sasuke, and Gaara would leave the Sand Village, taking supplies that they would need to cross the desert further into the Land of Wind, which is where Naruto and Sasuke's original goal was, Shikkotsu Forst, a legendary location on the map that Kushina had given Naruto all those weeks and months ago. And now they were adding Gaara onto the plan, explaining to Gaara their whole reason for traveling around, why they were in the Sand Village to begin with, and how they got caught up in this mess. Naruto would say it was a happy accident that Gaara gets to come along with them, asking Gaara if he's really sure about leaving his 2 siblings and his family behind. Naruto saying that he and Sasuke would give almost anything to get their family back. Sasuke looking down, remembering that night. Naruto remembering the snow covered in red. Gaara would think back to the hateful looks, the way his siblings had been treated because of him. With him gone, they'll probably be treated as the Kazekage's children, instead of just the cage keepers of a monster. He's happy about that. He thinks they'll probably be able to live better now, as long as they're not sent after him, that is. Knowing his father, he might not even try to send any Anbu or anything after them, considering the hate that the village has for the One-Tails, the spirit of sand that plagues their entire nation. Gaara would shake his head back and forth, saying, "I have no problems. I've cut all my ties. Let's get out of here." Naruto would nod, saying that there's no going back from this, as they step out of the village gates, having acquired the supplies they needed, without getting spotted by any Anbu. Luckily enough, Itachi had covered for them. Naruto, knowing that Sasuke's brother had saved them, would keep his mouth shut, not telling Sasuke about what happened. Letting Sasuke believe that Naruto had saved the two, Gaara and Sasuke, while they were unconscious was Itachi's idea. Itachi would have told Naruto that if he speaks a word of this to Sasuke, he'll know. And if I know that, I'll kill you. Naruto would gulp, knowing that this isn't just a threat, it's a promise, as he then embarks out of the village with Sasuke and Gaara, not saying a word to them about it. Well, Sasuke would say, onwards, to the land of the Slug Queen, Shikkotsu Forest. The trio, along with Tsuki, would then be walking along the sandy deserts, climbing dunes just as Naruto and Sasuke had before they had first entered the main city of the capital of the Land of Wind. Every now and then they'd come across abandoned towns with skulls now buried in the sand from long ago, taking shelter in these perfectly preserved relics, houses that are forever entombed in sand. Gaara could use his manipulation ability to clean out the inside, as they would now crowd around an old fireplace. Sasuke's turn to cook. Naruto pulling out some supplies, beans, some meat, which Tsuki would look at hungrily, as the crew is ready for another rough and tough meal. It's been 3 days since they left the sand village. Gaara was starting to feel at ease, but that was a problem, because if he falls asleep, Shukaku would awaken. Naruto would turn, telling Gaara that if he really wants to take a break, he can. Gaara being shocked that Naruto's saying he can rest. But I told you, if I fall asleep, then the tailed beast inside can switch consciousnesses and take over and kill you all. Naruto would smirk, saying, I don't think that's gonna be a problem, as he tells Gaara to try it, and see what happens. And if he really does go out of control, then I'll take care of it. You really think you can defeat a tailed beast? A monster, a spirit of the sand? Naruto looked down at his hand, remembering how he had absorbed Sasuke's chakra, well, his chakra off of Sasuke's body, a jutsu that he believed could have been unhealable using any magic. Simply just by a touch, healed, sucking up the chakra itself, absorbing it. He would smirk, telling him to try it. And if that stupid Tanuki comes out, me and Tsuki will kick its ass. Gaara would gulp, saying alright, as he gulps down his supper and rests, saying Naruto can take watch tonight, Gaara having done it every night since they had left the village. Sasuke would be fast asleep, trusting in Naruto's ability, thinking about what Katsuyu is going to look like, the huge slug that Naruto had heard about. Sasuke in his dreams. Gaara's heavy breathing will become softer as he slowly fades into unconsciousness. Then we begin to hear the Tanuki's laugh, saying what a fool, thinking you can really take on a magnificent tailed beast such as himself, as Sam begins to pour into the building. Naruto would then take a step forward, pull himself up yawning, as he tells him that this will be a good test, as he then slams his hand with the karma seal onto the Gaara's forehead. What is that? Shukaku would be cut off, as suddenly his chakra would be drained, sucked rapidly into the karma seal, as it expands across Naruto's body, now turning into a bright blue color, the same color as Tsuki's flames. Naruto's silver eyes flashing as a Byakugan appears temporarily, the sign of the Otsutsuki clan, and the base level eyes of Jashin. Naruto would have no idea what he's doing, just going with the flow, as he sucks up the chakra. Shukaku would become weak, as he's unable to take full control over Gaara's body, not having enough chakra to overpower his consciousness even while he's asleep. Naruto would pull his hand back, as Shukaku would then fall back asleep, just like how Kurama in the original Part 1 Naruto would fall asleep after the seal would activate. Naruto would pull his hand back, gasping. Naruto would quickly pull out an old glass bottle in the corner, as he looks into the reflection in the firelight, seeing His eyes quickly change from that empty, solid blue back to his silver. The marks fading from his eyes, it then crawls back down his hand, disappearing into that mark. He can almost hear a laughing in his head. A woman's laugh. Gaara would wake up the next morning, worried, and as he opens his eyes, we'd see Naruto standing there greeting him. About time you woke up. Not so used to our early mornings yet, are you? Sasuke's outside training right now. I was thinking you might want to go out there and spar with him for a little bit. Gaara would be shocked. You're alive. I feel rested. Did I sleep? Yep, Naruto would say, smiling. How did you... What? Naruto would then pat him on the head, saying, just leave all that magic stuff to me, alright? Now, go on, get. Sasuke's waiting for you. I told him you'd be out there in 10 minutes. Hush, hush, hush! Naruto would quickly pat Gaara, forcing him out the door, as he kicks him out saying he's gonna go to work on cooking breakfast, turning to Tsuki saying they're gonna go stir up some grub. While Naruto's going out into the desert looking for something edible, will be interesting, we then turn back to see Gaara and Sasuke's sparring match. Sasuke before this point was just working on his thread style, his woven style technique, covering his hands with chakra threads as he uses them to wrap around objects in this ruins and pulling himself about, moving through the air like an acrobat. Gaara would cough saying he's ready, as Sasuke would stop falling to the ground, turning, smiling, saying he's not some weakling anymore, like the last time when Naruto had to protect him. Come on, Kage brat, let's see it. Gaara's eyes would narrow, as he then begins to activate his chakra to control the sand. It feels lighter for some reason. Is this really my strength? Gaara feels way stronger, since Shukaku's not suppressing his mother's blessing on him anymore. When she died, now he has almost full control over the sand right now. He created his sand armor, a technique he'd been working on with his siblings for a while, as he tells Sasuke to come at him. He'd throw a blast of sand towards Sasuke, who'd easily use his chakra threads to bounce himself out of the way, creating a web of threading around as he jumps from thread to thread. This would be when Gaara begins to create scythes of sand, slashing through the chakra threads, but this wouldn't work as effectively as he had hoped. They're so thick. He was like cutting through a steel wire. It took hundreds of strikes of sand just to break through one single cord. That must use up a ton of chakra, though, he'd be thinking, as we see Sasuke activate his Sharingan. I'm going for a quick win here, he'd think, as he then pulls back the chakra threads around a building, an old clock tower, letting them go like a rubber band, as Sasuke goes flying forward, wrapping his hands in chakra. Woven style! Overload! Using electricity and flames release, he would charge it into his fist as he throws a super-powered punch at Gaara. Gaara would barely stumble backward in time, the sand moving him out of the way like a wave, as Sasuke's fist plummets into the ground. Suddenly we'd hear a crack, then a loud rumble. What? What's going on? A hole began to appear in the ground, as Gaara would even be beginning to get sucked in. Sasuke would run forward, trying to extend a chakra thread, saying to grab on. But Gaara would tell him, wait, Sasuke, no, I can... Sasuke would get sucked into the quicksand, as the two fall into the pit of darkness below. Gaara would pull himself up coughing, asking what that was, as he tells Sasuke that he can use sand, remember? He was just gonna fly out of there. You can fly? I didn't know you could do that. Well, I haven't had to use it yet, okay? My bad, Sasuke would say. But still, I was just trying to help you. You don't have to be so angry about it. I'm not Whatever. Gaara and Sasuke would look around, asking what is this place, as they see the hole above them, a bright beam of light breaking through. As they'd say they're underground. What is this? There'd be ruins and strange scratched markings on the walls. And in the center they would see a statue. This isn't just any statue though. The statue standing before them is a replica created long ago of a monster. A monster possessing 10 tails. Gaara would recognize this, almost like the fear of Shukaku within its being, as it remembers being part of this chaotic beast. We have to get out of here, he'd say. Sensing chakra, the red eye on this old statue began to move, as it begins to move towards Gaara. Stay back, Sasuke would say, as he then charges chakra into his fist, jumping up to throw another punch. No, Sasuke, get back! Gaara would throw his hand up, pulling Sasuke back with sand, as Sasuke turns just in time. The punch he would have thrown, the chakra that's released from just the little bit of electricity charging off his fist, would get absorbed into the beast, as the red crystal in the center of its eye would absorb that chakra, powering the mechanism. As hieroglyphics across the room would begin to glow. We have to get out of here. Sasuke and Gaara would pull themselves up, now Sasuke being pulled up by sand with Gaara as they rise out of the ruins. We'd hear a mechanical roar, as suddenly a fist would break through the ground. This small model of the Ten Tails would have been created as an experiment from this ancient civilization, a civilization who had been trying to fight Kaguya. But of course our heroes don't know that, nor do they know that this is a prototype. The beast would rip its way out of the ground, as sand falls into the pits below, destroying what else they could have found down there. As it begins to attack the two, seeking to absorb the One Tails within Gaara. Gaara would use sand, throwing punches of fists of sand at the creature, knocking off its balance. Sasuke running forward and wrapping weaves of chakra threads around it, now choking its legs out. Gaara! Sasuke! The two would run together as Gaara makes a huge sand fist, using most of his chakra. This is when Sasuke would run up using flame release, as he blows a fireball jutsu onto the sand, as it begins to melt, turning into almost a magma-like substance. Do it now! Gaara would throw the punch just before it loses its form of sand, losing his ability to control it, as the heated punch would slam into the metal monster, causing the machine to fall backwards, its gears whirring. As, with this punch, the gem in its eye would shatter, as it would run out of chakra, falling back into the pit below with a loud crash, as sand began to fill up the pit again. What was that? Sasuke would be thinking. Gaara would be wondering as well what that weird mechanism was and why he never heard anything about it. The Land of Wind is one of the oldest nations, but he had never heard of anything like this before though. Almost as if on cue, Naruto would come running back with Tsuki, holding some cactuses, a lizard that he had defeated, and surprisingly a boar, although it was rather on the small side. What are you going to do with those cactuses, Sasuke would say. Gaara telling Sasuke to knock it off, saying they have something more important to discuss. Shut up, you don't want to eat the cactuses either, do you? Naruto, we just defeated a monster that was here. I think you should see it before it's... Monster? Naruto would say. What are you talking about? The two would turn around as the pit was now completely filled with sand, the buildings having actually shifted from the amount of sand pouring into the crevice. Never mind, we'll just explain it to you. Huh? Naruto would say, moving his head about, really wondering what happened as Sasuke and Gaara would look at each other laughing. Well, we took care of it, that's all that matters. And we've gotten pretty strong too to defeat something like that. Gaara would nod, saying he does feel much better today for some reason. His control of the sand was even better than usual, which was weird. He really had no idea what Naruto did, but it worked. Naruto would say enough of that, let's just get some breakfast going. As Naruto then holds a cactus out towards Sasuke, Sasuke would gently place his hands on the cactus before throwing it hundreds of meters away, telling Naruto to be serious, as Naruto would have tears running down his face saying, "My precious one fruit, this is how I get treated for being the breadwinner in this family." What are you talking about? Sasuke would say, punching Naruto on the head. Tsuki would yip at Naruto as well, for chastising him. Naruto would sit down, sad, as Gaara and Sasuke would take the lizard and the boar that Naruto had taken, as well as some of the weird berries he caught as well, deciding what they were going to do with this. Getting the fire started, they'd then work on breakfast, being a little impressed with actually how the lizard tasted, better than they expected. Naruto would eat, being happy that he was now full, Sasuke as well, Gaara just enjoying himself and actually having friends for the first time. This was a dream that he had had since he was a young child, and he was slowly beginning to open up, feeling less rigid than ever, especially after having a good night's sleep like that. Maybe this was a good idea after all, Gaara would think, wondering about what they're going to be doing, where they're going to be going next. Naruto would stand up saying, well, that's obvious, as he points towards the horizon, a huge ocean of trees now at the edge of the sand, like a barrier. We're heading there, the Shikkotsu Forest. They'd squint, Sasuke activating his Sharingan, barely able to see it. Wow, you're right, but how did you... Naruto, last night when he had attained the Byakugan temporarily, would have accidentally noticed the huge chakra signatures coming from within the forest, and something else. We have to hurry. There's this weird black energy there and it's eating the forest away. I don't know what it is, but it's killing the chakra there, he'd say. They'd nod, as they then run towards the forest. The three of them arriving, they'd see that a huge area of trees would be dead, rotting, almost in a perfect circle. What the... Sasuke reached forward with his chakra thread simply touching the tree as the chakra thread would get absorbed, like the forest was dying, like some sort of negative chakra had killed it. Naruto would have no idea what this is. He hadn't even seen a magic ability like this before. What's going on? We have to find Lady Tsunade and figure out what's happening here. Sasuke, what's up, Naruto? Activate your Sharingan now. Sasuke would do it, opening the two Tomoe, as he can see this black energy of tendrils wrapping around the forest. It's so dark. Naruto would nod, gulping. It's probably much bigger than what I had saw last night. Something's going on here. Alright, Sasuke, you're our guide. Help us get through this part of the forest before we can get deeper in. I need to find out what's going on. We need to find that legendary Sannin. Maybe Hidan's been here. Maybe he's developed some sort of spell that could do this, he'd be thinking. As the trio would then run off into the forest, Sasuke being their guide as they carefully navigate their way through the edge of the forest covered in anti-chakra. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto Was a Warlock, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. Getting started with the third arc of the series, getting into the next core, which will be the next couple stories. So I'm really excited. This has been really fun so far, and this is the end of the Land of Sand arc. We have a new member in the group, and something else is going on too with this weird energy. Top right corner. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.